U.S. President Donald Trump has put a price tag on Canada joining his proposed Golden Dome missile defense system and renewed his annexation threat in the process. Mr. Trump posted on his Truth Social platform that it will cost Canada $61 billion U.S. to join the Golden Dome if they remain a separate but unequal nation, but will cost nothing, quote, if they become our cherished 51st state. He claimed that Canada is considering the offer. Mr. Trump's social media post marked the first time he has leveled his 51st state talks since meeting with Mr. Carney in the Oval Office in Washington, D.C. on May 6th. Our correspondent Wyatt Sharpe has more on President Trump's Golden Dome price tag.
U.S. President Donald Trump is back with his 51st state rhetoric with respect to Canada after Mark Carney was elected as Liberal leader and subsequently as the Prime Minister. People had thought maybe he was putting a pause to some of that rhetoric because we hadn't seen it for a couple of weeks. Certainly when Mark Carney met with Donald Trump in the Oval Office at the White House in Washington just a few weeks ago, Donald Trump tried to abstain a little bit from that rhetoric, and him and Mark Carney were going back and forth in kind of a more playful way. But on Truth Social now, Donald Trump is renewing the 51st state rhetoric, saying that if Canada becomes the 51st state, they wouldn't have to pay into this Golden Dome system that the United States is looking to implement. It's based off of Israel's Iron Dome, which is basically a kind of air defense system to intercept various missiles and other kind of war weapons that are oftentimes used, things like you're seeing used right now between Israel and Hamas in that war. So Donald Trump wanting to implement something similar, saying that if Canada wants to buy into this and they're not the 51st state, it could cost them upwards of $60 billion. So he's trying to use this as an incentive to get Canada to become the 51st state. Of course, not something that is constitutionally possible, as I've talked about before on the show. In order for that to happen, it would be a constitutional amendment for both Canada and for the United States. In the United States, it would require 2/3 of congressional representatives to vote in favor of it. And then, of course, it would also require a majority of independent state legislators in the state, in half of American states, 25 plus, to vote in favor of this as well. So not something that it's looking like will happen at this particular moment in time, but again, certainly something that Donald Trump would like to happen. And even if it's looking unlikely, that doesn't mean that he's not trying to kind of make some pitches and some more kind of incentives for Canada to follow through with what he wants.